What is Dental Year? Dental Year is the leading marketing app in dentistry. Created by marketers, this resourceful platform helps your dental practice in a variety of ways. Content inspiration, real-time marketing ideas, tips on ROI with your current methods, fresh resources, and lots more.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Buzz. I'm your host, Brad, and great that you're joining us today. We have a very special guest. We have Melissa LuVisi, the LuVisi Chief Strategy Officer, the CSO from Tab 32. Melissa, I said that right?
You did. You did.
Okay. Welcome to Buzz Dental.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. So before we get into Tab 32 and the game-changing platform and all the features, tell us about your background. I know you had your own agency before you joined Tab 32, and you just threw out the term growth hacking, which whenever I hear that, the light bulb pops up. Like, okay, let's just talk growth hacking. We don't have to be specific in dental right now. What's your definition of growth hacking, and like maybe some experience with that term?
Yeah, definitely. So I started out my career actually in at a restaurant group in LA, which is where you are located. Tender Greens. I don't know if you've heard.
Sure. Yeah.
I was I was kind of on the ground floor with them early on, and they really had an explosive brand, for those of you who don't know, because they're completely outside of dental, but they were all about, farm to fork, and everyone in LA loved their Tender Greens and wanted to go to, especially in like the early 2000s. And so from there, they would really leverage Twitter, and they would leverage social media to do things like pressure the West Hollywood City Council into giving them the permits they needed, because they had such a cult-like following. And in the early 2000s, like social media it's like the Wild West. Yeah. Everyone was getting involved in it. And that's really kind of where I started my career right out of college, diving in with technologists that were doing things like growth hacking on the back end. So that could have been anything from trying to get as many likes on a post or as many followers within these different social platforms, and really diving in on the tech end and seeing what we can do on the back end, SEO funnels, all of that. And then the algorithms happened, which really transitioned stuff. But it actually informed one of the reasons why I came to Tab 32 is, I saw in real time the power of what having a complete platform could do, and the power of, how it could be challenging if you're relying on a bunch of different vendors to complete your needs. So,
yeah. And then with the agency, I know you were out of dental. Are there any campaigns you worked on and helped clients with that kind of stand out? You don't have to get specific with the product or service or company, but maybe a particular example where you did a video or a post or an offline initiative that you're like, wow, looking back, that was stealth mode.
Yeah, I mean, we were mostly on the back end doing a lot of production and things like that, but it informed the strategies that I implement on Tab 32 today. So one of the campaigns that we're really proud of is our YouTube campaign. When I came into dental, which was about 5 years ago, wow, time is going fast. None of the software companies or practice management companies were really on social at all. And to me, that felt like a lot of white space that was an opportunity. Mm-hmm. It's also pretty competitive in the practice management space, kind of to a degree. But I wanted to make sure that we were connecting with our audience and our community, and I felt that we could leverage social in that way. And that's what we did with our YouTube series, which is an interview series where the public is invited to ask questions, and then we put videos up on YouTube afterwards.
Oh, cool. And so it's a live feed on YouTube?
It's a live, we used a different web app for it, but it's a live feed that then gets put on YouTube.
What do you use? What's the app?
We were using, oh my gosh, what is it called? I don't set it up. I think Storm, but we might be.
There's a few of them. I'm curious. And then, so how often do you do those shows? And then do you kind of let the videos on YouTube kind of grow organically? Are you running YouTube ads, or do you just share them on social? Like, how do you get the views on the channel?
We let them run organically.
Yeah.
For the most part, we might like recycle them on different distribution channels,
Yeah.
but we really try to be consistent with it. So we were one of the first to kind of go into that space in terms of like dental tech, if you will.
Yeah.
And you can see, because it goes as far back as 3 or 4 years ago now. And we try to do one every 6 to 8 weeks, if not more often.
It's awesome. I love it. YouTube is a beast, and especially their ad platform. By the way, I love the name Tab 32. I was going to call like a venture, like something. We launched some other products and shows all the time under Dentainment. Some work, some don't. But I was going to call something a while ago, like Show 32, something 32. And I told someone, they're like, why would you call it 32? And I'm thinking to myself, is she joking with me? And I was like, because people have, and this is like someone who's been in dentistry for like 40 plus years. I'm like, because people have 32 teeth. And she's like, oh, no, they don't. They have like 28 teeth. That's where they get the wisdom teeth or something like that. I was like, I always just thought 32 was like a common number in dental. Like everyone kind of thought that was the teeth number, right?
Look, I have thousands and thousands of dentists in my career, and I will tell you the number one question we get is, how did you come up with the name? And we'll be like, tablet 32, like 32 teeth. And they're like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. The 32 doesn't always resonate, but maybe that's why they're more clinical.
I don't even know how it's possible. Like if I talked to a yoga teacher and he or she didn't know what the number 108 was, I'd be like, where'd you, like, I mean, it's like 108 yoga sutras. Like, these are numbers in every field. Like, I feel like I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. It's, anyway, I love the number. I love the name, and I love the product. And one of our wonderful clients in Cambridge, Massachusetts, turned me on to the platform a while ago because she was using it. And we were like, oh my gosh, is the user interface great? There's so many features. So will you just kind of give our audience like the Cliff Notes version or the long version of Tab 32 in a nutshell? Like, what is it? And then we could talk, marketing ideas from there, please.
Yeah, definitely. So Tab 32 is a cloud dental technology platform functionally. We have 2 major products right now, which are our practice management software, which is the first product we introduced to the industry in 2017. We went to market, and it's a complete solution. So everything from two-way texting to appointment reminders, online booking to radiology, all the way to billing. So it's a complete solution across the care continuum. And then we also, as we both know, dentistry, since we met, I think at a DSO conference, dentistry is consolidating really quickly. And so we need enterprise solutions for the DSOs that are up and coming. And we offer we're the only platform that offers open data warehousing. You don't have to be on the Tab 32 practice management software to get access to our data lakes, which then allow these DSOs to have appropriate business insights that they need
to make an acquisition.
Sometimes that is a strategy that people use. But we also have like DSOs that, just need insights into their existing practices, like regional executive reporting. Your standard on-prem PMS just doesn't allow that today.
And so, but they have to be a client though of Tab 32 to sign up with that, right? Okay.
Well, no, so that's what I was saying. They don't actually, so they can be on our practice management, but change management for practice management is really challenging.
Okay.
And so sometimes we'll have a DSO come in and say, hey, let's pull all the data first, and then we'll slowly transition the practice management, especially if it's a DSO that has more of a roll-up strategy.
Okay. And then you also do something with memberships and letting offices create their own, or how does that work?
Yeah, so our dental memberships are built all within the platform. We have automized payment plans and payments built within. So this allows, if the office chooses, to basically create its own insurance plan. And I think it's a great revenue channel for offices, depending on what their business model is.
Yeah, 100% agree. Memberships are great. But, and I know you could punt this question to sales for someone interested in a demo. But if, let's say, a practice has a few locations, like, we need our own in-house membership plan. We want to do it kind of under your suite of services. Is it like, are you guys collecting a dollar amount per patient, or just making a small percentage on transactions? Is it a flat fee? Like, where is it costing the office if they decide to implement a membership plan and scale up? Because a lot of practices get 1,000, 2,000, thousands of members in the game plan, and then unfortunately some of them sign up with someone and they look at the bill at the end of the month. They're like, wait a second, how much is this costing us? Why would we pay this amount? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's great for a membership only company because they're making revenues, but an office will look at that long. It's kind of like a template website. It sounds great from day one, but 12 years later, you're like, wait, what did I just pay for that thing? So what are the economics on that?
You're going to be shocked. We don't charge for dental membership. You're just within our platform. So it's a part of the practice management software. So one of the things about us being a single solution is that we also try to keep it to one subscription for the practice management, and that includes the entire feature suite for the most part. There's a couple exceptions to that, but we don't charge for the dental membership. You just would have to pay Stripe, who's our integrated payment vendor, their percentage, but for auto deducting, but then you can create your automized payment plans all within the system.
That's crazy. So if someone had 3,000 members under their plan, their fee with you guys would stay flat.
Exactly. Yeah. They would just enroll it within the practice management as a plan that they created under their name.
That's amazing. Audience, I just want to let you know, I had no idea. That wasn't like a planning question. I thought you were going to give me like some small percentage or add on. I'm okay. That's crazy. So cool to know that. Are there any kind of success stories? And this might not be what you're focused on every day, but some offices that are using membership plans with Tab 32 that are scaling up, and maybe some best practices on how to get some members signed up?
Yeah, definitely. So I think first an office needs to really understand what their business model is, because some membership plans are really great, say for patients who don't have insurance. One of the spaces that people see a lot of success is actually in the Medicaid space when it comes to elderly patients. Mm-hmm. So these are patients who maybe can afford to pay for their own membership plan and don't want to go through the hoops the challenges that sometimes come with the Medicaid insurance dental plan specifically, that can be really challenging. And I think it's great for practices because what it does is it just opens up another revenue chance. 60% of patients don't go to the dentist, right? If we can allow an opportunity for patients, make it more accessible, then that's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Plus, statistics show that members are more open to sharing a practice with family or friends than a non-member, right? So it's a very powerful way to get scalable word of mouth. Yeah. And we live in the membership economy. So let's pivot away from Tab 32 for a second, because anytime I speak with a fellow marketer who's got experience, clearly you know it, just want to ask you some general questions. What are some of your favorite brands of the world? And these could be outside of dentistry as well.
Yeah, this was a tough question for me to think about, but it was a good one. Obviously, Google. Tab 32 sits on the Google infrastructure. We code within Google. The more I learn about Google as healthcare technology, it's so impressive how they've built their company and really stuck with their brand.
Great answer, by the way. Great answer, by the way, with Google. Like, I love that answer. It's amazing. I love it. And I love Google also because how powerful Google AdWords are, right? Like, the only difference between an AdWord and an organic result is the little AD in the top left-hand corner. Remember, it used to be like a blue background. You could tell it was a pronounced ad. Now it's so close because the click-through rates are going low, right? So, but I'm not pissed at that. I think it's amazing because we're trying to have successful marketing campaigns or practices. And there's nothing else close to it with AdWords. So that's really cool. I love the answer with Google. Okay, what's next?
Yeah, no, Google Ads is killer, especially if you have a marketing team that knows how to do them and do them correctly. You can have a lot of success.
Totally. Yeah. And their support is awesome. So we have regular calls with their reps. And I had a call earlier with really nice guy, Ben from the Ann Arbor office. And I was like, I went into the call, not like thinking we don't know all the answers, obviously, but I'm thinking, I don't think there's anything he's going to tell me that isn't really optimized on this thing. Like, that's how focused we were. And there was something like, there was something on like a conversion metric. Like, he wanted to add another conversion metric, sync it with analytics, something I would not have thought of on this particular campaign. I was like, all right, dude, that was a genius suggestion. So we scheduled the call from a week from today so we could track it. But this is why, like, not only is the platform so good, but they really want you to be successful, or else they're not going to get paid. So anyone who's doing, even if you're doing AdWords on your own, like, reach out to their support. Like, they're going to give you recommendations. And not all of them are good, by the way. Like, a lot of them you're going to dismiss and not run. But some of them, especially if you get someone on the phone that knows what they're doing, they are pretty stealth mode. Especially today, I was like, wow, that was a great note. Okay, yeah, sorry, go on, Melissa. Yeah.
No, I think they'll assign you a Google ad rep. So their customers are great.
Or if you're an agency account, you have your own dedicated support. But either way, they're all good there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, I mean, I know it's kind of cliche, but I have to say Apple. I think Apple really revolutionized the way we think about branding, and really opened the door for a lot more conversations around branding.
Yeah.
One of the things we say, working in technology in the office is, hey, if Apple hadn't cannibalized the iPod, we wouldn't have smartphones today. So we have to constantly be cannibalizing ourselves to stay innovative.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, one of my favorites there.
Nice. Great answer. Obviously, you got one more?
Yeah. And this is more just from a business structure standpoint. I've always admired WhatsApp. Before they were bought by Facebook, they had a team of 55 people. And so, working in tech, bootstrapping, knowing that if you have the right technology in place, you can really create efficiencies and then save on, team growth. You can create an efficient business.
Totally. Yeah, it's amazing. Would they sell for 16 billion?
Something crazy like that.
Something crazy. But it's amazing, like the amount of people that use WhatsApp. It's awesome. What a great name, also.
Yeah, right.
What's up? Cool. You have any more on your list, or is that for favorite brands?
I think that's it for today.
Okay, good answers. Which platform do you feel is most powerful today, and which platform do you feel is going to be most powerful tomorrow?
So I think. Right. What context are we talking about?
Because let's say dental practice is the market.
Yeah. So, Gary Vaynerchuk came to one of the DEO, which is one of the DSO conferences. And he told all these emerging DEO providers, like, hey, you guys should be on TikTok. And, I love what Gary's done. I admire it. I could talk about influencer marketing all day. But being in dental for a long time,
it's a terrible suggestion.
It's a terrible suggestion, in my opinion. And the reason is that most dental offices are small business owners, and they could be chasing their tails all day trying to find the hottest and newest platform, or they could really find a strong platform that's going to give them the ROI that they want. So to me, it does kind of come back to YouTube. I think from my perspective.
Nice.
From my perspective as a marketer, patient education is the key to creating strong campaigns and getting that 60% of patients back in the chair. And I really think that dentists could start doing this on YouTube and really personalize their own brands as well as educate the patients.
I can't believe that answer, Melissa. That's genius.
My personal opinion, but I mean, that's where I think it's at for dentists.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, we're a video first agency. Our slogan is lights, camera, new patients. Google owns YouTube. YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world, and video is considered the heaviest form of multimedia content. We lead with video. I agree with you. I'm just so used to hearing like Instagram or Facebook, which are beasts of platforms and so powerful. But so the good thing about you guys, the good thing about like leaning into YouTube and be like, oh no, YouTube's going to be our focus is, if you are crafting video content for YouTube, you could repurpose all that on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on email newsletters, on your website. You could embed the YouTube codes on your website. So it's not just you only do YouTube and you're done with it. Like, you take the YouTube embeds and you could repurpose them. You could run ads on YouTube. It is amazing. Great answer. I agree with you. What about tomorrow? I know YouTube's got a long way to go, but is there anything you see coming out that could be next? I totally don't even think TikTok will be in existence within a year. Let's say I was wrong about Snap. I wasn't wrong about Snap. I called Snap going down and being delisted. It was on its way out, although they have rebounded incredibly well, just because their leadership is amazing, and they have glasses now. So they have innovated their way out of a gong show. But I was right for a bit. I don't think TikTok will be around, at least in the US, for privacy issues within a year. But next platform for you, anything you're seeing that's kind of interesting, or like where you would put your next dollars?
I mean, I don't know yet. I don't think we know yet. I'm surprised, right? I was like, when is the next platform going to come? I think from a business perspective and for dental in particular, I think LinkedIn is super powerful for DSOs.
Yeah.
So if you're looking in the DSO, right, we have two different markets in dental. We have the independent practices and the DSO market. And it was pretty powerful to see the ADA and the ADSO kind of have events near each other in Vegas a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so I think LinkedIn is going to be pretty powerful for the DSOs as they consolidate really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, LinkedIn's interesting. I don't know. Like, I feel like as long as Microsoft has owned it now, if they haven't figured out the ad platform yet, like, I know it's good, and Jason Calacanis, and like, I know people run ads, and I'm sure they're making whatever on it, but it's not as intuitive or easy as a Facebook or Instagram. There's clearly less. I don't know. If anything's going to be next, in my opinion, if you're asking, I don't know if anyone is, I would have to say Amazon. Just because I think they're already at number 3 in terms of ad platform, and that's just basically with stores and sellers. And clearly that's where everyone's at. And whether it's voice or just on Amazon, if you're a pediatric office, you could target people buying, toothpaste for their kids. Then that's going to be an interesting platform. I don't know. I think Amazon. Also, it's interesting. Amazon. So guess what? Speaking of growth hacking, Melissa, you probably know this, but what was Amazon's number 1 growth hack early in the years? Like, why are they so successful? What was their number 1 growth hack?
You're gonna have to tell me.
Think about it. Just think about it for a second.
Yes, here.
What?
It wasn't. I mean, their number 1 growth hack. They came into power by selling books, correctly?
Yeah, but how did they get so many buyers?
I don't remember, and I read the Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. So I know it sounds like weird, but at one point they were the number 1 spender on Google AdWords.
You're right. They were. Well, they were in the red for years before they even turned a profit, which was insane.
He was laughing. He's like, okay, like I almost care about what's going on now, because he just projected out 10, 20 years. He's like, I'm just going to own books, go into other verticals, and they're like literally 10 years ahead of everyone else just in AI. And they bet the entire farm, every dollar they put back into the AdWords, which is fat. And it was so, even Vaynerchuk talks about him buying, dollar AdWords for wine back in the day. It was so effective, back then. But it's fascinating to see. Amazon at one point was a startup with limited funds and had a growth hack, and they found their one. So we all got to find our one growth hack, you guys. Sometimes it's a strategic partnership. Sometimes it's a yearly event. Growth hacking for dental office isn't a billion users. It could be, 40 new patients a month. It doesn't have to be like that crazy. It could literally be an ad in one magazine. It could be a radio ad. Like growth hacking, that's the cool thing about practices is it doesn't have to be like a Bezos call. It could be literally like just running AdWords or like redoing a website, like something that differentiate and like double down on it once you know. Like the key is figuring out, like knowing what's working. You know what I mean? I feel like if we go, oh wait, we saw a pop from that. Because if you don't know, then there's no hope, right? But if you see a blip in the data set or in your Tab 32 platform, like a jump in new patients, and you can correlate that with data, like what did we do that month that was this? Oh wait, it was that promo or that special or that ad campaign. Just copy genius, And so for anyone listening, you look at the data, and if you're using Tab 32, right, Melissa, you'll tell them what's working.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we have so many revenue discovery tools built within Tab 32 designed to do exactly what you're talking. We track referral channels. And then when you come to our open data warehouse, I mean, that's when I get really nerdy about like, well, how many texts does it take to get a patient to come back?
Many.
I haven't run the metrics yet, but we're just starting to uncover all of the data that we're sitting on, which is exciting.
What was that thing about phone call? Like, how do you guys work with phones? What's that about?
We just have two-way text messaging. So
Okay.
we have two-way text messaging, built-in appointment reminders, and everything within the system. You can make a phone call from the system, but you're probably not going to use that as an independent practice. But call centers might use it.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Any advice on back to the membership plans, like how to market those? Like, would you say it's through, website placement, email newsletters, social media, obviously maybe YouTube? I mean, that might be a cool thing to run some videos on YouTube. Like, what's your take on actual marketing for those membership plans?
Yeah. So, I mean, we all know that referrals are the biggest way to acquire new patients. The cost of acquisition for patients is huge, and our retention rates in dental are below par. So I think maintaining some sort of newsletter plan, you really have to ask the offices what can they do and what are they willing to outsource and pay an agency to do, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, newsletters I think are always a good idea in terms of trying to keep the patient engaged. And the membership plans are a part of that, right? But I really think understanding the patient journey is also going to help dentists a lot. We can't just, patients have standards now, and they are going to expect things like appointment reminders, and they're going to expect certain things from their dentist if they do make it through the door. And so I think always having a membership plan also available as a part of your patient journey. Yeah. Hey, I'm discuss this with the patient is also a good idea.
And that's awesome. Anything you're looking forward to or excited about in dentistry trends that you kind of see coming on over the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty deep into the Tab 32 development funnel.
You are the trend.
So I mean, the things that a lot of people are talking about, AI.
Yeah.
Dental, and when our perspective has always been, well, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? If you don't have data for your AI tool, then is that a true AI tool, or are you just selling subscriptions to prove out certain algorithms? And from our perspective, we really wanted to free the data from underneath the desk of providers, right? We're a cloud-based platform, and there's so much data in these on-prem solutions under the desks of these providers. And so we've spent the last 5 years freeing that data. And so I think the most exciting is what data insights are we going to get? We're really starting to scratch the surface with some of our larger DSOs that have come on board, like Specialty Dental Brands and Lightwave Dental. And so we're really excited to see what that is. And then we'll be releasing some AI tools in the next quarter or so, because we have our own radiology software. So by the end of this year, we will have tagged 1 million images from every radiograph in the industry. And which is pretty exciting. It will be a decision support system for dentists within the PMS.
Wow. And so you have a massive set of data collectively across all these practices. Are you allowed to, and how does that work for Tab 32 to put out like white papers or reports and say, this is how many text messages, this is retention, this is membership best practices? Like at some point we'd be able to aggregate all that and provide kind of best insights or best practices?
Hopefully. I mean, I think we hope to gain those insights. Like I said, we're just starting to scratch the surface with some of these groups. Yeah. So, to be seen.
And is your focus mostly group practices, or you also work with obviously individual locations as well?
Yeah, we started out with independent. At the end of the day, independent was where we started. They were that was our first segment.
Yeah.
But I think that as we have to be able to serve both. And because our technology is so flexible, we do find more and more enterprise practices needing what we offer to be able to scale.
Yeah. Nice. And just all of North America, like where do you serve clients?
All within the United States.
Okay.
And I think we'll probably stay within the US. I don't foresee us moving outside the US anytime soon.
So no Canada either. Okay.
No, not for us. Never say never, but I don't.
Yeah,
like
there's so much opportunity here.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity here.
It's great. I just want to also ask you, are there any books or podcasts or shows you're into, you recommend maybe that you find inspiration from?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. Because of COVID, I haven't been into my podcasts as much as I usually am.
Yeah.
One of my really favorite ones, it's called The Knowledge Project. And it's a podcast just kind of about
interesting.
Yeah, it's they interview anyone from like wine sommeliers to analysts and data analysts and things. And so it's very interesting to senators. I think they have a senator on there, a psychologist. So yeah, it's called The Knowledge Project. That's probably the one that comes off the top of my head.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Huh. I'm on their website now. It's fs.blog. What a beautiful design they have.
Be careful. It's a rabbit hole.
It looks like a rabbit hole, but I love hearing about these types of things as you look and it's like, oh, like just the design, the typeface, the color palette of their brand is amazing. Beautiful. And they have a membership, they have a whole membership plan going. Cool. Well, it was great talking with you, Melissa. I'm really stoked to learn more about your marketing insights and wisdom and also about the Tab 32 platform. Anyone listening, if they're curious about Tab 32, want to do a demo, what's the best way to reach out to you or just kind of someone in sales to help with a demo?
Yeah, you can just call the phone number on our website. Check out our website. It's tab32.com. There's a ton of information on the website that talks about the technology. So, but yeah, or you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. And yeah.
Nice. And then you have some YouTube videos coming out soon, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, we are publishing a YouTube video almost every week. So if you check out our YouTube channel, then you can see hundreds of dentists who are on the Tab 32 platform talking about how how Tab 32 has helped them grow their business, and also talking about some of the challenges they had when trying to look for a new practice management. And there's dental membership videos on there as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. Great stuff. I'm stoked that you joined us today on Buzz. I love the Tab 32 platform. Really excited. Some of our clients are starting to use it. And also turning on the memberships. That's a game changer. And I had no idea it was literally basically bundled in your monthly fee. So that's great. So Melissa, thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is great. We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of Buzz. We know there's a lot of competition out there for your attention. Things like Netflix, YouTube, rabbit holes, and all that type of stuff. Obviously, the NHL hockey season just started up. That's a distraction for some of us. So we know time is limited, and for you to tune into Buzz again, we so appreciate it. Make sure to click the subscribe button. If you haven't done it already, please rate and review. And just a reminder, our Dental Year app just got some new updates, so go to the iOS or Android store and download Dental Year, which provides your practice with 365 days of dental marketing inspiration. Melissa, thanks again, and everyone have a wonderful day that's filled with smiles. And if you implement Tab 32 in your practice, well, you'll without question be a wizard of Buzz.
If you're looking for more reach, engagement, and conversion with your dental practice marketing, download the Dental Year app today.